Just got back home after living in Bali for the last year and a half. I'm back home in New York for the holiday. And one of the number one things that people ask me when they find out that I live in Asia, that I live in Bali, is like, oh my gosh, how much does that cost? When I tell you it's so doable that you can do it too, I'm going to break down for you my monthly budget. Now, you're going to live in a villa in Bali. Your options is a shared villa space, kind of think of an apartment building, except it's most likely going to be like a shared kitchen, shared pool area, or you can live in a completely private villa. So rent is widely, it can be super low, it can be super high, but like on average, to live in like a really nice place, you're gonna pay probably on average anywhere between like 600 to like 900 a month US. And that's a really nice place. You could also pay as low as like 300 a month and it'd be a decent place. On average on food, I typically spend somewhere between 600 and 700 a month on food, but I am a foodie. You don't have to be like me. I spend that much and I eat out between 2 to 3 restaurants a day and takeout and groceries. And I'm talking about like wine, duck confit, wagyu beef, pork belly, crab, like the thing. Now I send my kid to a private international school. He's only 4, but he's going to a new school when we get back. And that one's a little bit more pricey. But on average, between school, his after school, I spend into speech therapy. After school, by the way, is like drop off kids club. So it's like nanny. And I also want to get a part time nanny, about 20 hours a week. And then I'm putting him in karate and soccer and so like this cool like robotics class thing that I'm thinking about too. But all in, all of that is about 1200. All of those things I listed. Then there's beauty services. I typically get like at least 2 massages a week. I get my hair washed every week. I get keratin treatments. I get gel mani pedis like maybe every 3 weeks. They last really long. They always kind of do like that Russian thing, so they last super long. I want to do some body sculpting when I get back. Considering doing a couple like lasers. Like you kind of get the idea. I would say on average per month, you probably spend between 200 or less on services. It could be more. It could always be more depending on what you want to do. But let's say about that. Now, getting around town, you're typically on a motorcycle. You can take cars as well. Average motorcycle ride, let's say a 15-minute ride is like 50 cents. In a car, it's probably like $3. You can also rent your own motorcycle and gas. I believe that's probably like 90 months. So I would say you're probably gonna spend like 100 a month on like travel. And there's visas, right? Now a visa to Bali, there's 3 types. There's visa on demand, which means you can just get on a plane, get off over there, and you can get there and stay there for 30 days. I believe it costs $60. You can also renew that while you're in Bali for another 30 days, and that's $30 to renew it. I did that a bunch of times. You can also do a visa run where you leave, go to another country, and come back and do that again. You can fly to like Malaysia, which is like $200 ticket, and then like come back in and do that again. So like for people who are scared, like, oh my God, I can't get a visa, da 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 da. You can do that as many times as you want. That's fine. You can do a KITAS, which is like a 2-year long visa, allows you to work in Bali. I think that's like somewhere like around 600 or 700, and there's like requirements to that. Or you can do the 60-day visa, which you can renew 3 times. So essentially it's a 6 months visa, and that's around $300, and you need to have like $2,000 in your account. So if you chop that all up, let's say visas and the flights to do the visas and all those things, like let's say that's like a little extra 150 each per person that you're gonna budget in per month. So at this point, I've covered transportation, food, visas, education for the kid, and activities, a nanny, housing, electricity, and Wi-Fi and stuff is covered in most places you stay. Housekeeping is covered in most places you stay. If you go to the gym, gyms in Bali is one thing that is expensive. The gym's also really nice. There's beach clubs. There's like all of those other activities. I would budget another like 200 to 300 a month for like activities like parties and going to beach clubs and like all of that kind of stuff, drinking, blah, blah, blah. So on average, for me and my child, to live a very nice life with all of the things is less. I pay less than 4,000 a month for that. So if you're thinking this is beyond you, it's not. And if you want to live below everything that I'm talking about, you can. I know a lot of people over there in Bali who are living on 2,000 a month. They're very happy with their lives. Don't let America keep you trapped, girl.